back to the bad boy book. So one of the things is passion vine. I think like Passiflora edulis is the more common one, but what we got here, this wild one, is incarnata. Kind of see that. Cool thing about this book is, I knew about the passion flower vine. I call these passion fruits because it's a passion fruit on a passion flower. But what it's really called is a Maypop. The cool thing about this is you can eat the leaves too. I didn't know about the leaves, and it's like looking at what you do with the leaves. I have a hard time sleeping, so I do those. But with this, you can use these leaves. Tea made from passion vine leaves has a long history of use as a sleep aid and can even be purchased such in many stores. So I may start doing a tea out of those leaves, right now while the leaves are green, picking them and letting them sun dry because it's sunny out, This is summer. This is August, so it's hot and sun, so they probably dry out in a day or two. But picking those leaves and then making the evening tea with them, like throughout the rest of the year. You crush up the leaves like teas. But anyways, the fruit. Called Maypops. If picked while still firm and green, the inner seed-filled goo will be tart but edible. It takes patience to wait until the fruit is ripe, but it's worth it. Nothing compares to Maypop's sweet tropical flavor. So it's supposed to be kind of like what they originally made fruit punch from, kind of the flavor profile, is a ripe one, It's tricky though because they're supposed to turn yellow and wrinkly when they're ripe, but it was difficult waiting that long. So that's going to be this video though. Maypop poppers. So I got this, some pancake mix. Start with that. Probably like a cup. I got this, some lemon juice. Probably like 3 tablespoons. I'm gonna mix the rest of this with water up at the shack. Okay. So I'm gonna give it a spritz. Wow. Okay. Spritz of salt. Maybe like a tablespoon sugar. This is some filtered water. Let's start with that. Yeah, that's looking good. Get a nice pancake batter consistency. Then I got some stuff. This is Saturday, so not really a good day for being out and about. So this is where I've been deep frying my savory stuff in. And then I got a fresh one I'm going to use for this one. Oh wow. current setup. So that's like, I don't know, 1.5 inches of oil. Star of the show. So it won't really be a deep fry. It's nice when the sweat beads go on the flowers and out on you. Saturday, so probably a lot of people out and about. Very nice, elegant. I had 2 of these fall. Either they fell or mouse knocked them off. See right there, and right there. Oh, look at that. Oh, leaf hopper. These are some of the older ones. They should turn a little more yellow and wrinkly when they're ripe. Like these 2 right here came off pretty difficult, I would say. But they're all pretty old. Guess it takes like 3 months for them to ripen. So I've been calling these like passion fruits because, you know, they're the fruit from a passion flower. So as far as I'm concerned, they're passion fruits. But for the purposes of this video, I'm going to call these Maypops. Because, you know, one of the names for them, actual names for them, is Maypops. I don't really know why, but, you know, it is what it is. So, let's see. These Maypops are a lot like pomegranates. They got these little, you know, seeds in these little sacks. And the seeds are crunchy. Well, when it's ripe. This one is not ripe at all. Very unripe. It's kind of like a, I don't know, not good taste when it's that unripe. You kind of see, if you're careful, you can get the whole seed cluster. And one. So the mouse was eating this pulp and not the seeds. So the general plan is to take this, dip it in batter, and then deep fry it and call it a Maypop popper. That one, seeds are nice and crunchy and developed. As it gets older, turns less tart. That one is mainly citrus. Turns less tart and more sweet and fruity. So I don't think they're ready yet, actually. I'm gonna go ahead and do those. I'm not gonna pick any more. Those were some of the older ones. I'm gonna give them some more times. I do got a nice little fig. Just a few more. That are ready. You're just about ready. So, since I've already picked these Maypops, I'm gonna do up those. Maybe not that small one. That small one's probably way too unripe. Then I'm also gonna do the figs in the same way. Let's see. Oh my god. This fig's like really soft. It's got a stem. And there's this. This is where the wasp goes. And inside makes all the little juicy little seeds. It's the texture of a custard. I generally eat it like that. Kind of suck out the insides, discard the rest. But instead, I'm just going to take off that stem and batter the whole thing, deep fry it, skin and all. So that'll be this one. I'm going to get set up. Looking good. Pat of coals, charcoal, cast burnt wood, top. Let that heat up for a second. Scorcher. So, this was a small one, so I did these two. I see it's a nice little popper. Did those two, and then the next two after were big ones like those. Neither of them were ripe enough. I tried a little seed pod up out of each of these, but the other two were still had the white seeds, and they're more like a vegetable at that point. You know, they taste something like some kind of a vegetable. Now they taste like a citrus fruit at this level of ripeness. They got the seeds turned black. So this was a small one. No, I thought for sure. What do you call it? If those two big ones were unripe, then that small one was definitely unripe. So I fed the two big ones to my compost toilet workers. Gave them something to eat. And, you know, so I just did a quick tear on them, tear them open, you know, so that they can get in there. And I was going to do that with this little one. So I butchered the little one, but the little one's actually got some black seeds ripe enough. So this is my dough. Like a pancake batter. Once I dip those, and these are my figs. Once I dip those and fry them, I'm going to just take these, put them in the batter, and do like a fritter out of the last bit of the batter. So I'm going to let that get up to temp. Grab one of these. Nope, I'm not ready. Once it gets hot, start sizzling, then I'll do the dough. Just enough time to wring out my shirt. Got wringing out, and I use a couple shirts. So, you know, one I drench and wring out and use for a while, and I lay it out to dry, put on a different one. Same process, and going back and forth. But looks good. Oh, whoops. Bad thing is when the smoke goes on the eyes. These are some really not much of a breeze. So it's like most of the way up. Just slight enough breeze to get me. Sticky dough. Man. Got a nice lemon flavor. Can't tell that there's any sugar in there. What are you doing, guy? They've got Death Wish. Little paper wasp. One of them's got a nest under there. Yeah, I think he just went into the fire. Yeah, he just went into the fire. Wow, what a skilled guy. Look at that. That's the work for the Biden administration, that one. Seems like their logic. Got two left. Very good. Still a little sticky though. Got my grease rack set up. Not quite as healthy as a Fig Newton, but probably tastes better. It will darken up even more once they're out. I want to get them nice and crispy. That side's a little overdone, but the underside isn't quite done. So it's been like, around here in Tennessee, we get like massive cumulus and like, I don't know, alto cumulus clouds. Just these pillars, you know, vertical pillars. So it'll be sunny. There was just some thunder, you know, a second ago. So you get these thunderstorms and it's still sunny because it just doesn't happen to be under the cumulus. It's been like that these last several days where it's sunny and hot, but also thunder. I'm guessing, you know, the little downpours wherever you're under one of those pillars. You know, they're so tall, they hold a lot of rain. Yeah, I guess doing some egg or some starch. Probably get it to stick better. But those figs are real smooth. Maybe it's just the skin on the fig. So I got one of the Maypops. The actual. So this has turned into more of a fried fig episode. But Maypop poppers sounds better than fried fig. So I'm still going to call this I'll call it Maypop poppers and fried figs. Some are wild edible. Not really the figs, but the Maypops are. They're a Tennessee state wildflower, I think. We have a state flower, the iris, and a state wildflower, the passion flower. There's different kinds of passion flowers, different colors. They make different fruits. This is the wild variety right here. Uh-oh, this one's breaking up. Batter like this though tastes good to lick off your fingers. If I had eggs, cornstarch, wouldn't be tasty. So I'm just gonna mix in that batter and pour in there. Not right now, but I'm gonna need 2 hands to do that. Give those to the bugs. Sure, it's already ready for, oh wow, just like a crispy shell. Part of that is the caramelization from the sugars, but then a gooey center. Oh wow. Yeah, that center is liquefied. Oh. It's a squeezed out bunch of juice and seeds. Very nice. Kind of like jellifies the fig. I would say it's kind of like a even when you know it's going to squirt out juice, still gets you. Kind of like a raspberry almost. Like a rhubarb / raspberry mix. Somehow I was getting hints of salt in the batter. I actually washed the thing this morning, and that's fresh oil, never deep. Wait a minute. I think it's fresh oil. I was deep frying. That's oil from in town. Current room setup. I don't deep fry anymore. Passion flowers. I'm gonna get that going real quick. Just kind of squeeze it out. Nice little lemon Maypop fritter. Still probably, yeah, it's still too hot. Wow. Well, that's gotta cool down. Just about burnt. My tongue's already burnt from eating those figs. And my lips burnt. I just burnt my fingers. So I'm gonna let those cool down and let this go. No, not ready yet. Get it off the bottom though. So the lemon acid in the lemon juice. What do you call it? Gets rid of most of the fluffiness from the batter, but still going pretty good. That's a fluffy one right there. If I ever saw one. Yeah, it's gonna take a while. I'm gonna give it a few minutes. Looking good. Kind of creosote. So I'm gonna let that oil cool down. And I got that. It's a gas filter. It's got like a little bit of a screen, and then it's got a central tube to let air out. I whittled it down so it fits inside of a Great Value jug. This will be my first time trying it on a Crisco jug. See if it'll fit though. But then slide it in and then pour it. This is the fritter. Start with a Maypop popper. Can really see the seeds. Yeah, it kind of brings out the bitterness. You know, it's kind of like a 50% tart. Like a citrus. 50% bitter. With the frying, brought that bitterness up to like a 75% bitter. This guy just pulled off the oil a few minutes ago. Ow. That's gonna take more cooling down though. I'm gonna call that for this video though. The dough turned out really good. Little dough bites. Kind of a mellow sweetness. Very nice. I like that dough. Hard to work with, but it worked out good. So fried figs. Kind of like a raspberry rhubarb. Now that it cooled down. You can't really bite these because it's like the fig turns to water inside there. You probably can't save these either. It's probably got to be eaten within a couple hours or else it'll get soggy. Because it's just like you take a bite and it just explodes of that juice. The Maypop's got some nice pop to them though. From the seeds. This would need some kind of a sugar coating. It's a little too tart to be good. Unless you really crave tart things, this would be the thing, but otherwise it's too tart. Maybe some vanilla ice cream on top, that would be good. But on its own, too tart. Fried figs, perfect as is, little bite-sized like gushers. Hard to say how healthy it is. As long as you don't have like a whole orchard of fig trees growing, you won't really have enough figs to eat like this every day. Give it a try. Wow. That one side. Definitely overcooked that one side. Hard to eat fresh because it's so crunchy, but it's delicious. Like that sugar just caramelizes, mild lemony, mild sweet, just ducking all the way through. Really easy too. Definitely like the dough. Dough, the batter was the win, and the figs was the win. I had two of them fall, but I'm guessing now it was just a rodent that knocked them down. Because they're definitely, when they do get ripe, they should turn yellow, wrinkly, and eventually fall off the vine. So I wasn't sure if maybe they were starting to ripen up and they just weren't going to turn yellow and shrivelly. So it should take like 90 days. Something like maybe next month they'll be ripe. They should ripen in September, I'm thinking. So when they do, I'll maybe do some fritters instead of poppers. Do some Maypop fritters then or something. That's it for this video. Spider. Wow, come on, focus. Almost like one of those strains.